Hello friends, welcome to Jyoti Tandon's kitchen. Today I'm sharing the recipe of one of our favorite snacks, that's samosa. But here's a recipe for you of samosa with a twist. So here's presenting samosa blanket puffs. Let's get started. The main ingredients for the samosa filling are 4 boiled potatoes, 1 tablespoon of grated ginger, 2 green chilies that I have already chopped, some cilantro, it's about 2 tablespoons of cilantro or coriander leaves, and half a cup of peas. You can use fresh or frozen peas. The spices that we will use in the samosa filling are turmeric, coriander powder. Please note I have actually made it into a coarse powder and not just the regular dhania powder. Although you can use simple dhania powder, but the coarse ones which you freshly grind have a much better flavor. Red chili powder, cumin seeds or jeera, salt, amchur powder or dry mango powder, garam masala, and fennel seeds, soap. For the crust of the samosa blanket puffs, I'm using 2 cups of all-purpose flour or maida, some salt, half a cup water, or 5 tablespoons of oil, and ajwain seeds or carom seeds. So the first step is to boil the potatoes. I have used 4 potatoes in 2 cups of water and boiled for 2 whistles in a pressure pan. It's now time to peel them. Now let's get started with making the dough. I'm going to sieve 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm putting 1 teaspoon of salt in this, 1/4 teaspoon of ajwain or carom seeds, 5 tablespoons of oil. Mix it well till it forms small lumps in the dough itself. And now that I see these small lumps formed inside, I'm going to add the water and then knead it into a firm dough. I usually use lukewarm water to make this dough, and now that our dough is very nicely made, I'm going to cover this up and leave it covered with a wet cloth for about 40 minutes. Till then, let's move to the next step of making the potato filling. I'm going to put about 1 ladle of oil in a non-sticking pan. Once the oil gets hot, I'm now putting 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of coarse coriander powder that I ground fresh from the coriander seeds. Add half a teaspoon of red chili. I also like to put a pinch of asafoetida or hing powder. And finally, it's time to add 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, that's soap. And now it's time to add the ginger, green chili, and the coriander leaves or cilantro leaves. Now that the spices have started to sizzle in the oil, I'm going to add 4 potatoes. And I like to mash them in the pan itself. I'm adding the peas in this, 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala and half a teaspoon of amchur powder or dry mango powder. Finally, it's time to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Also mash up the peas really well and then cover it up and keep it covered for about 2 minutes. Let it cook on its own heat. So now the potato filling for the samosa blanket puffs is ready. It's now time to take our dough and knead it one more time. I'm now going to divide this into 2 large sections and roll each section into a cylinder, and then cut this into smaller sections. Take each one and roll this into a disc. And finally, it's time to make it into a samosa blanket puff shape. So I'm going to cut it up into a rectangle. And then cut the rectangle into equal halves. And then put one on top of the other, making a plus sign. I'm going to put the potato stuffing in the center. Cut the dough in stripes from all sides, just like this. And then close one side, then the other, then the third, and then the fourth. Continue to fold it from all sides till it starts looking like a blanket covering the stuffing. So here you go. Our samosa blanket puffs are ready. Now it's time to bake them. I'm showing you two versions to make it in the air fryer, and if you don't have one, on the regular stove oven as well. Spray some oil in the air fryer. It's now time to put our puff pastry samosas at 375 degrees for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to flip them over and let them cook for 6 more minutes in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer and you want low-fat samosa puffs, you can also bake them in a regular oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes or deep fry them. So in heated oil, deep fry the samosa blanket puffs till they're golden on both the sides. So here you go, friends. Our delicious samosa blanket puffs are ready. So I'm serving these samosas with a twist, or puff pastries with stuffed potato in it, with some freshly made tamarind and blackberry and dates dip. Please do subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, do put it in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. And always remember, eat naturally, live happily.